Greetings, comrades. I'm Jenny, and welcome to Modern Socialist. Today's video is about why we need better democracy now. But first, please, if you're enjoying this video, give me a thumbs up and help get this video up the algorithm and out there. Thank you. Right, better democracy now. Consider this. A Tory MP gets in for every 35,000 votes cast for their party. The Greens, on the other hand, at the last election, got 860,000 votes cast nationally, and for that they got one MP. Caroline Lucas for Brighton. That is a huge disparity, and on those terms should have been enough to get the Greens 24 MPs, enough to cut Johnson's majority by a third. Also, remember to factor in that Tory MPs are 5 times more likely to vote against climate change legislation. This is according to an analysis of voting records over the last 10 years. And I've linked this down below in the description. Johnson is among the worst offenders despite the lies he tells to our faces about how he cares so much for the environment. This is why we need more Green MPs so desperately. Analysis by the Electoral Reform Society, which again I have linked down below in the description, shows that at the last election, under the form of proportional representation known as regional list PR, the Greens would have got a total of 12 MPs, which is far fairer in my opinion, and I would guess in yours too. Labour would have got another 10 MPs. So, come on comrades, it's in your interest to support electoral reform too. The Lib Dems were on for another 59 seats under PR, bringing their total to 70, leading to a hung parliament and the possibility for us to resist Boris effectively. Of course, the hung parliament is itself a loaded term. It sounds problematic, and that is what the Tory elites want you to think. It's in their interests to keep this electoral system crawling along on its belly. What a hung parliament actually means is effective coalition government, something many other mature democracies in Europe already have. Compromise and working with others is what politics is about. The concerns of all working people must be understood and worked into concrete policy by making accommodations with one another. It is the first past the post system that allows the wealthy elites to hamstring our democracy in their quest to keep their Tory servants in office. Coalitions will actually strengthen Parliament itself. In other words, give our Parliament the sovereignty the Brexiters always demanded. No more would single parties get an absolute majority after electoral reform. And it is the absolute majorities that give us these elective dictatorships. This talk of elective dictatorships isn't just something come up by firebrands neither. it was the High Tory Lord Hailsham, former Lord Chancellor, who coined this term, as even he understood how undemocratic our system could be. So, just a little bit about our government and how it's structured so you can understand why we need electoral reform. Our government is split into three branches: executive, legislative and judicial. They have differing roles but are meant to keep checks and balances on each other. Under our system, with its regular absolute majorities, this easily breaks down though. The winning party that has the majority of seats in Parliament, which is almost always Tory, you must remember, gets to form the executive. That executive then controls Parliament through its party, so these checks and balances break down. The judiciary also loses power, as the executive can force through Parliament any changes it wants to our legal system. This is what Johnson is already planning to do, with his thinly disguised aim of weakening the authority of the Supreme Court. Johnson and his gang are building up the sort of executive power that must be resisted at all costs to protect our democracy. Proportional representation would allot seats out accordingly to votes cast, more fairly reflecting the mood of the nation. It would also give us a far livelier Parliament, more able to scrutinise the executive effectively, and they would do their job of holding the Johnson government or further Prime Ministers down the line to account. These are all good reasons for why we need electoral reform now. Right, that was my argument. Did you agree with me? Disagree even? Have you any questions? Leave a comment down below, and I promise I will have a read of them. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more content, click subscribe. Ring the bell to be notified when that content comes out. And I thank you all for watching. So long, comrades.